Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Round 6 in the bag. What an absolute roller coaster of a round. Like at one point I was high as a kite. At another point I was like, I'm going to trade every single player I own. And then the next day I'm back to being on Pluto. Like wow. 2,451 juicy green arrows. We're back up. We're ranked 4,488. We're in the top 3%. Looking good, my friends. Looking very, very good. Yeah, what a round. What an absolute round. So we're going to go over each game quickly. I'm just going to do like a quick fire recap of some standout scores and some targets in each side before I actually go over my score and my trade thoughts towards the back end of the pod. So tune in. I'm just going to do a quick fire. Let's go. So 1-6 out of 8 league matchups, but nobody gives a shit about that. So let's go to game day. Let's go to NRL matches. Let's go from the Knights and the Tigers because it's fresh in our noggins. So obviously the Tigers won 20-4. Mate, the Knights are absolutely dog shit, and I'm very, very happy that I moved off Ponga 3 weeks ago to Gutho, because at this point in time I think you'd rather own Buller than Ponga. So I'm not quite sure what's happening with the Knights at the moment, but my God. So KPP with a top score of 65, Best 58, Leo Thompson 57. Look, Greg with a 56 in a side that got belted. I would not be trading Marzu anytime soon. He is a workhorse, and once the Knights start clicking again, you're going to want him in your side. So until then, hold. Thomas Kant with a 53. So the cash cow scores okay. So he's going to keep making some cash. Fletcher Sharp 52. He's a genuine option if you start to see that the Knights attack is starting to gel a little bit, because he will bottom out in price soon, and you'll want to get on top of him with that fullback center duel. Outside of that, the rest are pretty irrelevant. Ponga with a 34, very, very happy with that as a non-owner, especially when a large amount of people captained him. Oh, that was amazing to see. Let's go over the Tigers. So Terrell May with an 83. He's just going to keep going. Like, he will be number one front row forward by end of the year. Buller, Taruva, Toa, Galvin. Outside of that, I traded Seyfarth for a 39. So very, very happy with that. The rest are kind of irrelevant. Skelton with a 19. He came up with a hammy injury. So I traded Skelton a couple of weeks ago. Thank fuck for that. Yeah. Storm and the Warriors. If you haven't got any piece of the Storm's attack right now, you will be left behind, and that's a you problem, because if you don't have Pappenhausen, Katoa, Grant, Munster, I don't know what you're doing with your life. The Warriors look absolutely shot. Aaron Clark with a 71. He's actually starting to become a little bit of a watch at the moment, especially with Fisher Harris going down. I think it's with a pec. I don't know. I think it's with a pec injury. So someone out of the Warriors is going to get a little bit of an uptick in minutes. I'd be keeping an eye on them for sure. Moving on, Eels and the Raiders. Hudson Young is becoming an almost gun option in that 2RF. Obviously, like with your Katoa, your Fafita, your Angus's and stuff. Hudson Young, if you want to pot up, especially with the Raiders draw, I would be definitely not opposed to going Hudson Young over another gun. Tarpany, he's going to be a must-have over the Origin period. You could pretty much get him in now, but geez, like how many forwards are there that there's only so many you can honestly have. Like at this point in time, like in my side, I've got May, Tino, Payne Haas, Horsburgh. Like you could jump on Tarpany as well, but yeah. Starling, I played him for a 77. Horsburgh 68. He's definitely going to get a Blues jersey again this year. It's unbelievable, honestly. Tamale with a 29. All of the attack went the opposite side of the field that whole game. I think Tamale saw a handful of opportunities throughout the whole game. So I wouldn't be rage trading Tamale yet. So Bunnies and the Cows. Just going to quickly go over Purdue. Oh, man, I'm so upset. I traded Purdue in round 2. You can't win them all, honestly. You cannot win them all. Drinky with a 78. He's going to become an option soon. Robson, 71. He's starting to score a little bit better. The rest isn't really... Yeah. Dry Arrow, 84. He's just made of glass. I wouldn't touch him. My little pod option that I'm considering for 2RF is actually Ewan Aiken. He's very safe. He's very, very safe. If you actually look over his scores from last season, Ewan Aiken averaged 60. If the Bunnies can go on a bit of a tear, Aiken is a workhorse and he will get you a good score week in, week out. So keep an eye on him. Mamazelis didn't play him, 47. Hubner with a 44. Colin Matungi, 43. Yeah, not much going on there. Sharks and Manly. Garrick with a 79. Man, I don't know how much longer. Especially with Turbo out, he just seems to be getting a little bit more than I thought. I'm probably going to have to bite my tongue, like bite my pride and get him back in. But I hate that so much. Oh, he's like one of the top 4 CT dubs that you want to have for the rest of the season, especially during Origin. Yeah. DCE 72. Ola Kawatu with a 46. That sucked. He obviously had a shoulder injury. Now, he's apparently been cleared to play for this week, but obviously we're just going to have a look at teams list. He has a very, very good matchup against the Dragons. Left edge defense where Fafita ran amok. So, yep. If you got Al Kawatu, play him this weekend without a doubt if he is named. Not much else to talk about there. Hines is dead. Like, right now, it's very, very evident that Trindle has just killed Hines. Those days of Hines just being 100 all the time, it's just, yeah. R.I.P. Hines, honestly. So, I don't know. I've got him, and there's really nothing else outside of Jerome Hughes to go to that I can trust week in, week out. The Sharks draw's okay, and surely, like, I think it's just going to be a game of guessing. Like, who's it going to be this week? Is it going to be Hines? Is it going to be Trindle? That stinks for SuperCoach, man. That stinks for SuperCoach. Fanua Blake with a 52 came off with a groin injury, I believe. Will Kennedy picked up a lot of work. 67, Stone Street with a 77. Yeah, not much going on. Broncos and Roosters. Haskell an 83, shock horror. Walsh with a 69. If you've held Walsh this long, you may as well just keep holding. I mean, eventually he's going to get a score that you'll be proud of, but at what cost? Holding him for this long, and If you've got the funds, I'd go Walsh up to Teddy. But, yeah. Carrigan, Arthur's with the 44. HIA misses next week. He's going to lose cash. Yeah, not much going on there. Teddy, 91. He just keeps scoring, doesn't he? He just keeps being SuperCoach relevant. No matter what happens, year in, year out, he is just SuperCoach relevant. So he's going to be a massive target, especially over the Origin period. I honestly reckon if you've got Ponga and you've got the funds to go to Tedesco, I'd be going from Ponga to Tedesco as well. Nat Butcher with an 80. I think that was a lot of work through the middle there. Connor Watson, 78. Nafahu White with a 37. I wouldn't stress too much about that. I think he's just scored very, very poorly because the Broncos middles just played him off the park, to be honest, and I would not be too stressed about him because he will bounce back. Toya is, geez, he's underwhelming so far. Great footy player, but when it comes to SuperCoach, he has not lived up to the expectations for sure. Moving on. Dragons, up the Dragons. Played Dylan Egan with a 99. Oh, man, as soon as I saw that he was named in the starting lineup, straight into my 17 without a doubt. So 99 again. He's going to make a ton of cash. Val Holmes with a 97. He's honestly, Val Holmes is looking like a dead set must-have in CT dub. Tuapolo with a 95. Hamstring injury. So we're just going to wait and see what happens with that. But apparently it's looking like maybe like 2, 3, 4 weeks. So just monitor that, see if he's named. If he's not, I think it's Sienna Finau. If he gets named, he's a genuine option because he will be fed tries and the Dragons have a good draw. Cashman with an 82. Wow. He just keeps banging them out, man. He just keeps banging them out. As a Dragons fan, I'm very, very happy with the depth of the forwards that are coming through for this club at the moment. Wow, man. Gutho with a 54. I captained Gutho, and after about 20 minutes, you could tell that Flano had the perfect plan to counteract Titans' rushing defense on Gutho and completely eliminated him out of the whole attack. As a footy fan, for a Dragons fan, it was amazing to see because it was working so well. As a SuperCoach captain option, I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Yeah. But you know what? It wasn't Ponga. So, moving on for Feeder, 128. He is now playing big minutes, starting. Yes. Grab him while you can. Jaden Campbell with an 83. Very, very happy there. Oh, man. Let's talk about Bo Firma just quickly. I got Firma in, and then the last 2 weeks, he's been playing centre. I didn't get him in to play centre. I got him in because he was a 60-point averaging edge back rower, not a centre. So I've just been fisted by that trade. Hopefully he gets named on the edge again. Hopefully he doesn't move back to the centre. What a pain in the fucking ass. Righto, Dolphins and Panthers. Panthers are cooked at the moment. Fucking hell. Hammer with a 124. He just blitzed that poor defense. Yeah, man. Herbie is very, very safe. He's on my radar. The rest are pretty irrelevant. I traded Cleary in for an amazing 58. I faded Cleary this whole time. I finally boost to get him in, and he does that. Oh, man, you just can't pick it, hey? Well, you can, but, like, I think the FOMO of potentially Cleary going massive just overrides the thought of not having him. But, yeah. Lindsay Smith was 72. Yo. Yeah, anyway, righto. that was a quick fire. Let's go to my side. Let's have a look, shall we? So, starting with a 77. Beautiful. I was so close to trading him. I kept him because I knew it was going to be hot up in Darwin. I knew the Eels middles are shit. And I knew that he was going to blitz through the middle there. And bang. Very, very happy with that. 77. Payne Haas with an 83. May with 83. Already gone over that. Katoa with a 71. Olakau'atu 46. Horsburgh 68. Dylan Egan with a 99. Yeah, look. I've already gone over most of my side in the quick fire just then, but I think my side's looking okay. And there's a couple of things that I want to do. Obviously, sorry guys. Obviously this week, Shibasaki has peaked in cash. He probably, I won't say he's peaked, but I think he's come very, very close. He probably might scrape up to around that 540, 550. But I think the time is now to go on him. So if you're going to go down Shibasaki, you want to go down to either a Billy Smith or a Hiroti. But we need to find out exactly how far away Iro is. If Iro's only like 2 weeks away, I personally would not waste a trade going to him. Billy Smith might be suspended this week. So if you've got the depth and you can play without Billy Smith this week, I'd go Shib down to Billy Smith instead. But if Iro is out for 3 or 4 weeks or more, then I would go Hiroti. If Tuipulotu's out, if he's out for like 3 or 4 weeks, I think that you trade him. I think if he's out for 1 to 2, I think you could hold. It's just one of those things because Tuipulotu's hamstring is a very, very similar situation to Skelton's, and the risk of re-injury is quite high. So I have noticed this season playing hammy roulette is not fun for anyone. Yep. So one to monitor. Yongi 435k. I think you could probably get 1 more week out of Yongi and then move him on. I mean, what's the break even? So he's got a 2 break even. And he's against the Tigers. I understand that the Tigers played against the Knights and they played well. But I think that Parramatta have to bounce back again, surely. And I think, but then it's one of those things, it's like, well, if Ponga can't score well against the Tigers, what's Yongi going to do? So, look, I don't hate it if you want to move on him this week. But I think that you could probably hold on to him for like 2 more weeks and then jump up. But like I said before, if you've got the funds to go up to the likes of Teddy and stuff, go for gold. Yeah, so we'll go over quickly the most traded out in my team. So obviously I just went over Shibasaki. I think that that's fine. 3,500 people are trading out White. I can't get on top of that, hey. Like, obviously people are going White to Fafita for that extra, 130k. But, I really think that you should find a way to have both, because White plays... He's going to be a very, very good option through the Origin period, and I don't know, man. Yongi, people are going early there. Tamale, I don't agree with Tamale. If we have a look at Tamale's scores, let's have a look. So, round 1, he scored 73. Round 2, he scored 60. Round 3, he scored 25 against Manly. And then he scored 78 and a 54 against the Cows and Sharks. But then he had that game against Para where he just wasn't in the attack. And he scored a 29. So if you take out Manly's 25 and Para's 29, he's been scoring very, very well. I don't think that that's a trade-out option. I think that he's someone that you want to hold because Raiders have a great draw. Like, Raiders have Titans, Dolphins, into Melbourne, Bulldogs, and then Titans, Warriors. So you could probably get 1, 2, 3, 4 good matchups out of the next 6. Playable matchups as well. So, yeah. Tuapolotu, 1,253 people trading him out. Yep, I get it. Harodi, Billy Smith, Fafita, Teddy, and Karaz. Yes. Karaz is definitely on my radar. Karaz is on my radar. Herbie Farnworth is on my radar. There was one other pod center CT dub that I wanted to have a look at. I'm just going to quickly go in. Who was it? I had someone in my mind. Where was it? Give me 1 sec while I just quickly scroll. Casey McLean. Now, Panthers are too good of a club, too good of a side for them to just continue to be poor. They are going to find form. I know that Casey McLean has some defensive issues, but once the Panthers start clicking and Casey McLean keeps his spot, that's one thing that it's a bit iffy about his job security. If the Panthers can click, Casey McLean's going to score tries week in, week out. And he's someone that I'm definitely eyeing off. Someone that I could potentially go a Toya up to Casey McLean once I've generated another 150 to 200k. Yeah, I'd be looking at Casey McLean very, very carefully over the next couple of weeks to see if the Panthers find some form. Righto. My trade considerations at the moment, off the cuff, there's absolutely no guarantee that I do this. I'm looking to go Shibasaki down to Billy Smith. And then I'm considering Tuapolotu up to Karaz if Tuapolotu is out for an extended time. That's my option, or Herbie. There's a lot of options. Like Fafita's an option as well. You could possibly go Shib down to Billy Smith, and then, as much as I just said White is a hold, you could go White up to Fafita as well. Yeah. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of options this week. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. The boat is going well. We're going well, guys. Let me know how you're going in the comments. And I'm just going to finish on one note. Now, I do this as a hobby. I enjoy SuperCoach. Now, I enjoy discussing SuperCoach. I enjoy having different opinions on SuperCoach. I post regularly on my SuperCoach page on Facebook. I post on the SuperCoach Central page. I'm more than happy to have discussions and back and forwards. But the moment that I start to get ganged up on by soy boys and cop abuse left, right and center, insults, all of this type of stuff, the moment that it starts to go from a normal discussion to, oh my God, these fucking idiots are just abusing me, I'm just going to block them. I don't do this. I don't do SuperCoach to cop abuse. It's pretty straightforward. I come on here to have fun. I come on here as a hobby. I don't come on here to cop abuse. If you want to be a hero and you want to be, oh my God, look at me, I just insulted him and he's got a podcast, ha ha ha. If that makes you feel tough, that's fine. But I will just move you on. Anyway, that is all, my friends. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me know in the comments how you're going. Let me know what trades you are thinking this week. And that'll just about do it. Cheers, guys. See you all next week.